everyone. As I have stated in the last video, I am no expert on psychology. These videos are just my thoughts on my experiences with people or myself. Now this video is on a subject that I feel can vary to extreme levels, so I wanted to preface this video by saying this will have multiple parts to this video. The first video will be about a friend of mine and his comments on depression. I knew this friend all the way back in second grade. We were the same age and our birthdays were separated by one day. We grew up and lost contact a few different times, but he reached out to me and suggested that I should cover this subject. He was diagnosed with an unexplainable depression last year. He offered to come on and do an interview of sorts, but unfortunately I don't have the ability to do videos like that yet. So instead, I sent him a few questions and we went into detailed answers. He briefly described to me what his depression feels like. He said, "I had a feeling for a long time that I had it, the reason being that I would get this deep sadness out of nowhere that just made me feel like I was in a pit so deep that I couldn't even see the light at the top or light shining into it, just engulfed in darkness. It would happen on and off like a roller coaster. Eventually it was a point where I just looked sad all the time." I then moved on to questions. My first question to him was, has his life changed since he was diagnosed? He said that his life changed in the sense that he wanted to fight to continue to live. He chose to deny medication and chose to make changes to other aspects of his life. He decided to start eating healthier and exercise often. He also tried to have social interactions more and just increase the things that are basic human needs. He said that he does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and he actually fights competitively at tournaments, and he lifts weights as well. He decided to start lifting weights because he felt that the Jiu-Jitsu wasn't enough. He said that the weightlifting helped a lot because he is breaking his records, which made him feel good. This led me into my next question being, have people noticed a change since you started making these changes? He said that people have noticed a change and that they have been more understanding when his mood changes or when it seems that he is just on autopilot. I want to provide a little context for this next question, so just bear with me for a moment. I explained that there are other friends of mine who were diagnosed as being bipolar at a young age, and they are on medication for being manic depressive. I had a friend in tears tell me that they just wanted to be normal. I knew this person for a long time, and I have met other people who are bipolar, and I didn't see that in this person. I had to explain to that friend that they were normal. There are a lot of people that end up medicated at a young age when people are still developing, and I feel sometimes the doctors are wrong. So with that context, I asked him, do you feel that your feelings are just normal, or do you think that something is actually wrong with your mind? He responded that a part of me does feel like something is wrong, because some days it feels like it's a fight to move, to do even the most basic things like get out of bed, brush my teeth, and eat, especially with eating because I love food. He also mentioned that during these times where it feels crippling, he has to be very careful because his mind can wander towards suicide and eventually the thought turns into a desire. In those moments, he says he struggles because your mind can start to rationalize that you don't want your family to watch you suffering. You also don't want to live in that kind of suffering. You start to crave the end because it seems like the answer. You can fall into this deep, dark sadness that is like heavy weights chained to you. It makes it difficult to raise your head and keep your chin up. Your emotions start to lessen. Eventually you just feel nothing, and you can't find the exit, like there's no way out. You're just trapped in a maze of torture. I explained to him that I had minor dealings with depression and thoughts of suicide, and one of those times was when I was working at an Amazon warehouse. It was from the moment I woke up that I thought I could just end it all. I explained that when I finally left my job at Amazon, that those thoughts went away. I asked him if there is anything in his life that could be similar that he could change. He brought up a lack of companionship, but that he wasn't sure. He said that he noticed that eating a better diet has helped a lot. He said he falls into these states more when he is not eating healthy. He also mentioned that he is not where he thought he would be, and things are very far from the plan. I asked him if he has regrets because of that, not being where he wanted. He said, "I don't think I feel regret because I made these plans with another person who is unfortunately no longer in my life. I cannot control the actions of another person, well, legally anyway." He said he didn't plan or make goals for himself in case she wasn't around anymore. That was it for my questions that I had for him at the time. Now, I do want to go over a few of the key points though. I have always tried to have this mentality that you should be improving something in your life at all times, whether that be your job, your health, your living situation, or anything else. If you don't, you start to become stagnant. You stop looking for better than what you have, and you become content with what's around you. Now, being content sounds nice, but things won't stay this way forever. I have learned this in my own life. You have to stay moving, or life can start to swallow you. I became content with my life at one point and got addicted to gaming. Because of that, my fiancée at the time left me. I am sad to the extent that I wish things would have worked out for us, because I did love her. However, I didn't let this one thing ruin me. I learned from it. I learned that I can't ever let myself get addicted to gaming again, of course. Beyond that, though, I learned that you can't become content, especially if you have a partner, because they may not be content when you are. Now, depression is one of those things. For some people, it isn't curable. You can only live with it. This has a few options for self-help. You can give yourself a purpose. This may sound simple or like it wouldn't help, but it really does. If you come home every day and don't have something to strive for, you will find these times harder. If you give yourself a goal, like losing weight, getting a better job, or maybe even learning about a new thing, it gives you a reason to live. Part of the thing that makes depression such a bad thing is when it starts to lead to suicidal thoughts. If you don't have a reason to live, then what is the point of life at all? This is why doing something so simple can go so far. Another thing that can help is talk to someone about how you feel. Now, this option isn't always going to be available to everyone, and sometimes it may feel like it won't help. Trust me, it does. Imagine it like when you have a problem you can't figure out, be it a math problem, a science one, or whatever you can think of. No matter how hard you try, you can't think of a solution. Then someone comes along, looks at it for 5 seconds, and they make a suggestion that works. This is called a fresh set of eyes. Sometimes we get so stuck looking at the same idea over and over, and it still doesn't work the 5 times you've tried it, but it just might work the 6th time. I noticed it a lot in word games, where you have to find a 4-letter word out of the 7 letters they give you. No matter how many times I shuffle the letters, I can't find that word. Someone else looks and bam, they found that word. Talking with someone has a similar effect. You get stuck and you feel like there is nothing to live for. Maybe that one person can help you find a reason to live. My last thoughts would be everyone is important to someone, no matter how small. I knew this guy when I was working at Subway, and he came in regularly. He always got the same thing and he went about his day. He was always really happy, but he was an older gentleman. One day his son came in and let us know that Phil had passed away, and genuinely it made me feel sad. Someone will always remember you, even if you think there is no one that will miss you. That's all I have for this video. The next one will be a part 2 about this subject. I will go more into detail about what the outsider can do for someone with depression, and I will go more in depth about ways of spotting it. Please, if you have trouble finding that reason to live, find someone, whether it be your family, your neighbor, your coworker, or even a doctor. Even message me, either on Facebook or make a comment and I'll get back to you. Sometimes all you need is someone to listen to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please subscribe. It really makes a difference for me and allows my videos to get out to those people who might be struggling. I hope all of you are staying safe out there, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. And remember to be careful, but not scared.